What is going on, everyone? So you are thinking of making a move to Edina, Minnesota, huh? You are in the right spot. Today we are going to do a deep dive Google Map tour through Edina. We're going to check out what makes this first ring suburb so popular, and make no mistake about it, this is one of Minnesota's most desirable places to live. We'll check out some real estate, we'll talk about what makes this place so special, and just give you a feel for this overall community. Let's just put a little bit of context out there about Edina. Edina is a first ring suburb of Minneapolis, one of the most popular suburbs of the Twin Cities. It's directly southwest of Minneapolis. Population is going to be right about 55,000, probably just a shade under that. It is definitely a more affluent community. We're gonna have a median household values of about $625,000. Median household income is going to be about $130,000. As you will see when we start to do our Google Map tour here, Edina is not short on million, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up from there $1 million homes. There are some very big, very nice, very cool homes in Edina. According to niche.com, Edina has some very highly rated public schools. I can tell you from personal experience and just living in the area my whole life, Edina's got a booming art scene. It's got a great dining scene. Arts and dining really come together around the area of 50th and France, which we're going to come back to. That kind of borders right on South Minneapolis, but 50th and France is a great area. Edina is also just really known for its recreation, its parks, and just being a very beautiful city. So we are going to jump into our tour here of Edina. Before we do that, I just want to set it up and give you a little context. So Minneapolis and St. Paul are, of course, called the Twin Cities, and for good reason. So St. Paul, which is going to be the capital of Minnesota, is going to be right here on the eastern flank, and on the western side is going to be Minneapolis. And of course, if you look just a little bit southwest of Minneapolis, we are going to find Edina. And this is one of the things that makes Edina so nice, is it's very centrally located. And just to point out, you can probably see this already, and this is going to be the case with a lot of these suburbs, is just they all kind of blend from one to the next. There's not a lot of major geographical features like rivers or mountain ranges. Not too many mountains here in Minnesota, in case you didn't know. So everything just blends from one to the next. You can see what I mean here. Very accessible. We have Highway 62. This will run east and west, basically through the metro, take you all the way over into St. Paul if you want to go that far. Highway 100 runs north and south and will basically connect the whole metro that way. And then you have this road here called 494. A lot of people call this the Beltway. Runs all around the metro. So very easy to get in and out of. If you haven't noticed already, we have this big old guy, the Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport, which is actually a very highly rated airport nationally. It is a major hub for Delta. So there's a lot of flights in and out of there. And if you're in Edina, I mean, you're 5 to 10 minutes away. It's just right there. So we'll get into our Edina tour here. We're going to go quadrant by quadrant. So we have this northwest quadrant, northeast quadrant, southwest, southeast. Hey, and if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you. Tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first to know and get the latest information on all of our suburbs like Edina, Minnesota. My name is Chris, my business partner, Trevor. We love to get out in these communities, show you guys some of the real estate, show you some of the things and the places that make this place special. All of our information is below. So we're gonna start by jumping into this northwest quadrant of Edina. So this is bordered by Hopkins here, mostly on the north. And if you were going to be visiting this part of Edina, and one point of interest you might want to check out would be the Interlochen Country Club. This is a private golf course, private country club. It's very exclusive. I would say it's very prestigious. You're going to find a lot of the who's who from the Twin Cities here. It's a great space for weddings, business events. There's dining, kind of everything you could want and more at Interlochen Country Club. Other than that, in this particular chunk of Edina, it's mainly going to be residential, save for, so here's Interlochen where we just were, and we're going to scoot over just a little bit If you live in Edina, and especially if you are from Edina, you are shopping at Jerry's Foods. This place has like a cult following. You are not going to chain grocery stores. You're going to Jerry's. And just incidentally, this whole little area here, you've got Edina Liquor, you've got Jerry's Foods for your grocery store, you've got a vet, you've got coffee shops, dry cleaners, some limited dining options, but kind of a nice little shopping area. From there, it's mainly going to be residential. And it's got some very desirable areas. This whole area around Interlaken is expensive, as is most of Edina. Again, keep in mind, median home value in Edina is going to be $625. This Rolling Green neighborhood is a very cool spot. We'll just see if we can hop into this here and just show you maybe some of these houses really quickly. And there are some fantastic, very cool homes in Edina. Edina is a very well-established community, so you're going to see a lot of big trees. What you're not going to see is power lines, things like that. They're all going to be underground, but there are some fabulously sprawling homes in Edina. Another very popular area of Edina is going to be down here around Bresden Park. Nice little area, very close to freeways, things like that. And if we take a look at some of the real estate values here, what you'll notice is as you get on the edges of Edina, so here, this is technically Edina, but we're right on the Hopkins border. So here we've got a pending home at basically $325, a 3.3 at $1,700. And if we scoot over into that Rolling Green neighborhood where we just were, so here we've got a $3 million home. But again, everything up in this 18 million. I gotta see. Built in 1931, clearly what you're paying for here is you are paying for the acreage. This is on 15 acres in the middle of Edina. That somebody's gonna get that money because that's gonna probably go to a developer. I really like this Mirror Lakes area. This has a lot of big ramblers. I have a buddy who lives down in this part of town. He loves it. Here's one on the market right now. We can see at 2.8 million. This is basically new construction built in 2024. Pretty neat. Let's see what else we can find. 765, 939. Here's one at 4 million. Here's one at 2.7, 3 million. If there is a downside to Edina, it would be the cost of living. That's about it. It's an expensive place to live, but if that's okay with you, the amenities, just the way the community is kept, is really going to be second to none. Next, we are going to pop over here. I'm going to call it cleverly quadrant number 2, and we'll take a look at that. So Minnesota and Minneapolis is, if you're not from here, it's the land of 10,000 lakes. I'm not sure if there are 3 lakes that are more famous than these 3. So we have Lake Harriet. This is Lake Bedé-McCoska, formerly Lake Calhoun, and Lake of the Isles. And these 3 are actually all very close to each other. They're all right about 3 miles or so to walk. Technically not Edina, just to be clear. But if you are, especially if you are on this northeastern fringe of Edina, you can see that it's very walkable. I personally walk around both of these lakes, Bedé-McCoska and Lake Harriet, all the time in the summer. Love to do it. Safe, easy, close, great vibe. So the northernmost neighborhood here is going to be the Morningside neighborhood. Pretty cool little spot. There's a great pizza place up in this area called Hello Pizza. A funny name, but it's a New York style pizza. Good place to go. Try it out if you're ever in town. But I think the coolest part of this section of Edina is going to be right in here, which is going to be this area called 50th and France. And again, here's the Minneapolis Edina divider line. So it's right on that line. But this area, fantastic art scene. There's going to be a lot of dining options of all kinds in this area. And it's super walkable. It's friendly. It's nice. There's big sidewalks. It's just a great place to be. Edina Grill is an institution. If you're into old school burgers and malts, they have been around forever. Cocina del Barrio is a great place if you want some quick and easy Mexican. But again, just whole area around 50th and France is going to be, it's going to be one of the hot spots of Edina. And I would even say this 50th and France is one of these neighborhoods that is pretty well known throughout the whole metro of Edina. So definitely check that spot out if you're around.
From 50th and France, we're just going to go southeast here a little bit and over to Pizza Lola, which again is right on the southern Minneapolis border. But for today, we're going to pretend like it's Edina. Pizza Lola has gotten national recognition. She owns another place called Young Joni's, and they've just got some really interesting pizza combinations and toppings. We have been here many times. We love it. It's one of those spots, if you are in the area, Pizza Lola is definitely worth hitting up. Chowan is going to be another very popular residential area. Pamela Park, another very popular neighborhood area. And you can see there's parks and little lakes tucked all in throughout Edina. I would say the Twin Cities in general does a very good job of blending, for lack of a better term, blending nature into an urban environment, of preserving some trees, keeping it feeling not overly urban. So diving into the real estate here, again, as I mentioned, northernmost neighborhood is going to be this Morningside neighborhood. We have one pending right here at basically 1.7 million. A lot of new construction in this area too. 475 in Edina is going to get you this 1958 built 1,500 square foot home. And we'll probably find some similar price points. 475. Here we go. 500,000, 550, 649. But again, as you start moving west into Edina, away from that border, it really does not take long to see these prices start to jump dramatically. Interesting looking home here. Again, new build, relatively new, I should say, year old. We're going to move down into number 3. And this is where I actually spent a large part of my life. So you will find the Edina High School, again, according to niche.com, very highly rated school system. And this is going to be home of the Edina Hornets. And if you're a hockey fan, number one, Minnesota is the state for you. And Edina is right there in the state tournament consistently, kind of year in and year out. So that's going to be where the public school is, the high school is. This whole area here, this neighborhood is generally referred to as Indian Hills. Again, common theme, lakes tucked into these neighborhoods. And just look at the tree coverage, right? This is why I love some of these suburbs. This is a densely populated urban area, but when you look at it, you're seeing tons of trees, tons of parks. I just think that's a great feel. So backing out, if you scoot over into the southeast corner of this chunk of Edina, you are going to find basically a little industrial park. There's a lot of businesses tucked back in here, and that's mainly what this is going to be, is businesses. I've got some kids. One of their favorite places, of course, is this trampoline park. Make sure you've got your insurance policies updated and ready to go, adults, if you're going to go there. Great place for birthday parties. My kids love it. Braemar Golf Course is another very well-known kind of fixture of Edina. Pretty cool spot. They've got indoor golf dome for hitting balls. They've got an ice arena. They've got indoor spaces for events, things like that. But this whole Braemar area is going to be very well-known in Edina in general. Let's take a peek here and see what the real estate looks like in this southwest chunk. So this is that Indian Hills neighborhood. I don't think we're going to find anything under $1 million around here. So right here, we've got a 1.7555, 2000 built, 6,000 square foot home. Scooting just a little bit south. Again, 2 coming out at $1 million. Here's one at 4. This is a 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom, 3-car garage. Looks pretty cool. We'll see if we can find some cheaper options, but I don't think so, especially in this chunk of Edina. Oh, there's one at $750. So for $750, you can get this 1959 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 3,000 square foot for $750. Here we go, right on the median home value of Edina, $625. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, built in 1954. That is the median home price in Edina is $625, guys. And as you can see, as we look at this map, there is not a lot out there really for $625. We are going to hop back in to our last little chunk of Edina. That's going to be quadrant number 4 right here. This one's got some of the cool stuff in Edina in it, I think. So I think I mentioned when we started this video, Minnesota actually has the first indoor shopping mall, which was Southdale, which was completed, I believe, in 1956. And this whole area around Southdale it's extremely popular. Southdale has great shopping, really nice mall. Lifetime Fitness, if you're familiar, high-end health clubs, they've got a pretty big presence in Minnesota, as we are actually corporate headquartered here. So you're going to find a Lifetime Fitness right here. And if Southdale doesn't do it for you and you want a bit higher end shopping, you can just scoot right across the street here to the Galleria. And here you're going to find big names. We've got Tiffany, Louis Vuitton, Pottery Barn, Williams Sonoma, Yeti, just a lot of big name brands that I shop here daily, like I'm sure a lot of you guys do. Louis Vuitton, I think I already called them out. So high-end shopping, Pittsburgh Blue is a pretty good steakhouse. If you want to grab something to eat, Cove as well. They have a really good happy hour. You're going to find that right over in Edina as well. Moving south from the Galleria, Pinstripes. Great date spot, indoor bowling alley, arcade, bocce ball, and food. It's a great place for a date or a corporate event, that kind of thing. Centennial Lakes is also a really neat area. It's actually pretty big. You can't get the full scope here, so I'm going to just show you.
What's up, everybody? So this is Centennial Lakes, which is a super popular park area in Edina. A lot of restaurants. We mentioned Southdale, Galleria, high-end shopping is all very close. And this is just a really popular spot for people to come and hang out. You can see we got putting greens and golf, mini golf. You can rent paddle boats with your little ones. And again, this is just a space where people come and love to really hang out. We're gonna give you guys just a little walk around. There used to be a Chuck E. Cheese right over there, which if you had kids, obviously a preeminent birthday spot, but that seems to have changed into something else. Behind me here, you're gonna see a lot of these condos. A lot of these they're going to be somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 square feet. Most of these are going to be 2-bedroom, 2-bath, maybe a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, things of that nature. They're selling for upper 200s, 300, right around that. So pretty reasonable. Of course, you are going to have HOAs and fun things like that will add to that expense for better or worse.
Another one, if you got little kids, just a little bit further south is Edinburgh Park. And this is a fantastic indoor playground. If you've got kids and it's not such a nice day out, which happens here in the Twin Cities from time to time, this can be a great place, parents, to take your kids, save your sanity, and let it rip. I think it's like 10, 15 bucks, something like that for a day pass. You can see this side is going to be, again, shopping, dining, Southdale, Galleria, shopping and dining all through here. And then this little chunk will be more of the real estate in Edina. We'll just take a peek. Not as much happening over here at the moment. And I would argue, I'm not going to call it cheap. I'm not ever going to call anything Edina cheap, but this corner is probably one of the more affordable pockets as I scroll over $1 million homes. So there's 700 grand, 579, 590, 510, 556, 699. So, a bit more affordable. Again, as you really push into the middle of Edina is when things tend to get significantly more expensive. I don't think I'd be doing my job if I didn't at least call this out for you guys. If you are living in Edina, you are also going to be very close to, I will call it the Mall of Hysteria, better known as the Mall of America. Just a 10-minute drive if you're living in Edina. And of course, if you want shopping on steroids, this is where you go.
We were in the map, we were out of the map. Edina is a fantastic place, and if it is a place you are considering relocating to, check out our channel. We've got multiple other videos, and we are adding more all the time. So you'll find a bunch of other information and resources there on Edina. I always say this, and I mean it. If there's something you guys would love to see about a community, drop it below in the comments. I would love to do stuff that you guys actually want to get out there and really see. On a more personal note, I was actually born in Edina, so I'm a cake eater, and lived there till I was about 9 years old, at which point my parents picked up and moved to the middle of nowhere in northern Wisconsin, but hey, nobody's perfect. So I can tell you firsthand, Edina is a fantastic place to be. Again, my name is Chris. Contact information is below. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys again real soon.